So the article says on the Daily Maverick, it says ASA is Orania Africana enclave wants Trump's help to become a state. What do you think of that?
Not surprised.
But that's ridiculous, though.
No, but I'm actually not surprised at all.
Why are you not surprised?
It wouldn't be the first time something like this happened in history, or in modern history even.
Of course.
With Biafra in Nigeria, many places in the world, even back home, there was a part where the South, Katanga, wanted to secede and become its own country. Right? It happens quite a lot, and it's just like the changing geography that presents itself every now and again. Considering what Orania is, right?
Yes.
It's secluded. It's got its own set of rules, principles,
Separatist.
etc. It's a separatist kind of living environment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised that they want to be a state.
But okay, do you think it's a reasonable request?
Do I think it's reasonable?
Yes.
I don't think I have any leg to stand on in saying whether or not it's reasonable.
Oh no, but your personal opinion.
My personal opinion, you know what? I'll be a patriot on this one and say no, because that just sows the seed of division. And if one group of people can do it, or if one sector of the country can do it, it's going to trigger so many different kind of like separatist movements. And before you know it, the very union that we fought for, that was fought for, that is South Africa, is going to be...
They don't want it to be a rainbow nation anymore. They want it to be a nation of colors.
Yeah, bro, like exactly that.
Yeah, that's
exactly
actually
that,
what
right?
they want it to be. Okay, another thing is, I don't want to bash Mr. Trump, but it just says a lot, though. I mean, the mere fact that they are calling upon him for help says that they have acknowledged the fact that he tends to interfere in a lot of countries' businesses.
Funny enough, Trump doesn't interfere in countries' businesses. America interferes in countries' businesses. The reason why they mention Trump is because he's a bit more conservative, or he's super conservative, right? And this sounds like a very conservative thing. Like, we want to isolate so we can have a conservative lifestyle.
No, this is extreme conservatism.
Yeah, it is. And
this is actually extreme conservatism.
Some people would say that about Trump, that he's extremely conservative as well.
Easy?
I wouldn't say he's extremely conservative, but some people would. A lot of people would say Trump is extremely conservative.
It depends on where you stand.
Yeah, for sure.
It depends on where you're standing. I think the whole separatist thing, that's extreme conservatism, because basically you're telling us we just want a country where it's only us and us alone. Because that's what Orania is currently.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I can't pack up my bags and say I'm going to live in Orania.
Not really.
Because the minute they see me, they think the dark dome is here.
Oh,
they see a gloomy. They see a gloomy cloud coming already. Oh no, it's a black dude! Oh my God, hide the kids!
You know what? I think with Orania, is it not they want to preserve Afrikaans culture, right? That's the rallying cry for Orania.
Which is a good thing. Like, I think in one of our videos, I did say that's a good thing. But this is just...
Yeah, no, this seems a bit much, bro. But who am I to say that again, right?
What do you mean, bro? You can speak for it because you're a citizen and you understand things.
I do. And I can speak for it. As a citizen, I just said it doesn't seem like the right thing to do.
No. It's not the right thing to do.
It will trigger so many different things. It will sow the seeds of division. And mind you, we come from a history that is already very checkered as far as division goes. It's not a proud history we have as far as division goes. So it's like undoing all of that work that was done to get us where we are in the first place.
Exactly.
It seems wrong.
I mean, it's the same thing where people were asking for Cape independence.
Independency.
Yeah.
In the Cape.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard of that. You heard of that,
yeah,
right?
In passing, but like that's unrealistic, bro.
But these are crazy. These are basically like seeds of division sprouting up, like.
But people who do that do not understand how. I don't think they understand how countries are run fundamentally. You can't just be like, Okay, what's the rationale for them wanting Cape dependency? Did they want to keep something away from everyone else?
That's what I was about to say. I said, don't you think what would be the motive?
Yeah, why do they want Cape dependency? And we can't. You see, with questions like this, bro, maybe it speaks to the people themselves. It can't be surface level. It can't be we want to keep Cape Town clean and a good holiday destination. That's not fundamentally. That's not what makes a country function, right? No, not really. Yeah, it's nice that it's clean, it's proper, it's tourism, but that's not the only thing you need.
That's true. So basically, they're not looking for the good of the whole nation.
Not at all.
They're actually looking for the good of a specific group.
In fact, if they do that, I argue that they'd be disadvantaged compared to the rest of the country.
Of course they will.
Big time, bro.
Of course they will.
Big time.
Oh yeah, they will. They will.
Bro, big time, big time, big time.
Oh, jeez.
They need to be part of the union. Got to be part of the country, bro.
Yeah, no, this is flipping crazy. And what do you think of because in the same line of things, of the is it GNU?
Oh yeah, the Government of National Union.
Yeah.
Oof, yeah, bro. That's on a knife edge right now, bro. I was seeing that the DA wanted to pull out of the Government of National Union. It's not as solid, as compact as we thought it was. It's shaky at best. It's looking like the very cracks that people were anticipating was going to show up are showing up right now. So the GNU it's now on very thin ice, bro.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, the DA is actually wanting to pull out of the GNU.
Yeah.
And
have they said why they wanted to?
I think really not sure. I actually did not follow up on it.
One thing I think was the pushback from the government. The budget allocations for the country.
Oh, so that's what triggered this.
That was one of the main reasons, or one of the reasons. I'm not sure if that's one of the main reasons, but that's one of the things they cited. Is that they weren't particularly happy with how the budget was structured, or how even that process of doing it was probably delivered. Mm-hmm. So I guess they probably might be worried that if we continue like this, you won't really get much done, and the same old culprit, namely corruption, is going to show up, and you're going to get money that's just falling through the cracks.
So their plea is actually genuine.
To some extent.
Okay.
To some extent. Mm-hmm. I think they just want more clarity and transparency as far as the budget goes. Yeah.
This is where we at. I know the whole thing of Orania crying out to Trump. That won't go forward because that's crazy.
But you know why that they entertain an idea like that?
Why?
Because the Americans have done that successfully before, haven't they? Israel.
Yeah, the state of Israel.
Yep.
I mean,
they have a perfect model for it.
1947.
Yeah, they have a perfect model for it. That's something that has been done, and we can even say successfully. Successfully, yeah. So there's a blueprint. And it's the same old characters that could press the button again.
If that's the case, then that means what's the possibility or probability that they won't just stop at Orania?
That it moves and sweeps over.
If they're going to use the same blueprint as Israel,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you remember they started. Then
just started expanding, and before you know it.
Yeah, then they kicked out the very people that they found.
Yeah, the people that hosted them.
Yes. So what's the probability that they won't do that?
It's something that we've got to at least imagine could happen. At least imagine. If it's not possible, fine, but at least let's not be so optimistic that you rule that out. Because if it does happen, then at least you'd be like, okay, fine, kind of saw that one coming. Yeah. But then you know what that comes with, right? Conflict, bro.
A lot of conflict.
Armed conflict, possibly, which is not what anybody wants, by the way. So, no.
With the Middle East, I know the whole division was on land and also religion.
True.
So here it'll be on land and what?
The most basic one? Race?
Yeah, that's random race. Yeah, land and race.
That's the obvious one, right? Considering our past, etc.
Yeah.
But let's see how that goes. Do you think there might be a situation where this works out for everyone?
What you mean?
Such that Orania is an independent country, South Africa is also an independent country, and you know how we've got Lesotho and Swaziland within the country. You've got Orania as well.
I mean, so far Orania has established itself as its own. It's got the basic fundamentals like of an economy of an independent country. I mean, they have their own flag. That's the basic. They have their own currency. They have their own leaders. They don't actually participate in the same economical economical activities as SA overall.
Okay.
So I think what happens outside them doesn't really affect them. I think so. Because their currency is not really...
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from that lens, you could comfortably argue that you'll have a situation where within the borders of South Africa, there's a Lesotho, there's a Swaziland, and there's an Orania.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they have all the basics, so...
And it exists perfectly okay with everyone in harmony-ish.
Yeah, because I've never seen them raise... I mean, funny enough, I'm actually advocating for them now. It sounds like I'm advocating for... But so far, we've not seen them, like, do anything crazy. They've just...
like raise hell.
No, they've just told themselves and they told the public, this is us and this is where we stay. And that's it. We off the grid, basically.
Yeah, but do you think it's a bit more heavy or it's harder to swallow because it's got the undertone of apartheid in it?
Yes, because they still have the flag, no?
Okay, I see.
They still have the flag. So yes, I mean, I guess that's the reason why.
Yeah.
That's the reason why. But they've explained it. There's nothing wrong with people choosing to exclude themselves and to just stick to their own race. Which I do, and personally...
Yeah, it's called apartheid, bro.
I know. But remember, in this case, we are not oppressive to anyone.
Yeah, but...
That's how they're going to say, like, we're not oppressive to anyone. We're not doing anything wrong to anyone. Exactly. We just want to be...
Yeah, but that's kind of like how the apartheid regime justified apartheid. They were like, we just want everyone to stick with their own people so they can better understand each other.
But remember, they used force.
Yes.
And they were brutal towards everyone else,
but
whilst protecting themselves and keeping their so-called people guarded. And do you get it? It's like...
Yeah, but it started with policy, right? It didn't start with brutality first. It started with policies. The group, the land, there was a land act. I'm forgetting the exact terminology for it, right? Yeah, where they allocated people. The Group Areas Act.
Then the pass...
it started, it was gradual. It started under the guise of let everyone stay among themselves, and then eventually people started seeing it for exactly what it was, which was an oppressive regime.
True. Let me advocate for Oranians, right? They would say, we are not doing that.
How would we know, bro? Our history is too recent. It's like...
I know, I do understand it, but they will say, we are not doing that. We're not oppressing anyone. In fact, we are not causing division to any race.
True.
We are not responsible for allocating where one race should be and where another race should be.
Yeah.
We're just responsible for our own people.
Fine.
And guess what? We are requesting, just give us, let's make a demarcation, a big one, right?
Okay.
And let's have a border.
But even with that border, it's not like any other country. You know how if you want to get into a country, you need a passport,
you definitely need a passport in Orania.
Yeah, but then it goes back to the undertones again of Orania. Like, that's what would be... That's kind of like how people would villainize the whole concept. Because it's like, it would be an exceptional country in the case where you can't just go there. You know what I'm saying? Like, even... You could go almost anywhere in the world, bro. Even the countries that are like, no-go zones. Realistically, you could go there.
You could.
You could definitely go there.
Oh, yeah, but with Orania, you not.
Well, that's what a lot of people would think, right? It's that I can't go there if I look a certain way.
Oh, no,
is that the truth, though? Or
no, that's actually the truth.
Is it?
Yeah, I wouldn't go there if I'm just... Like, I can't spend the night in Orania. Even now, to date, as a black person, if you go to Orania, you must leave it today.
So, can you see how fundamentally as a country...
Okay, that's basically... Okay.
It doesn't really make any sense,
right? Everything else falls apart. Because if you are a country and you don't allow anyone else to just come in...
there's North Korea.
No, but other people go to North Korea.
Yeah, true.
I've seen people enter North Korea.
True.
Even take videos, recordings, and everything.
We can always say there's North Korea because they're also very like... Even in going there, they don't just let everybody in. But again, the basis of them not letting everyone in is not really about race. It's about, it's political ideology.
Yeah, you see, for them it's different.
They want to exclude themselves on the basis of political ideology.
Yeah.
They believe they're at war with pretty much everyone westwards of them. So they're kind of taking safety measures.
Exactly. I guess that's what my question was at the beginning, to say, what do you think is the underlying motive for all this, for their request to Trump? Do you think it's racially motivated?
I think
of course it is racially motivated, because
I can't see why it isn't.
If now you guys don't allow black people to sleep in your town and spend a night there, what more when you have a country and borders?
Can you see? Maybe an optimist might say that could possibly prompt tourism to Orania. And
what type of tourism?
Well, if it's a
racist tourism.
No, you've never been there before. Go check it out. Go see it. Get a special passport. Maybe they create a special passport program. Who knows?
And they're gonna make you sleep far away from the people. You've got another border with the citizens. So there's a main border.
Yeah, and then
when you enter, then there's a border to the citizens of Orania.
There's like a gated community where tourists must stay.
Yeah.
That's called apartheid, bro.
Yeah, I guess that's it, bro.
Yeah,
I guess that's it. So, guys, that's that. It's crazy. I think it's ridiculous. It's one of the most ridiculous requests and endeavor they're trying to pursue. Because what the hell, bro? What the hell?
We'll see how that plays out.
What you looking forward to it? I hope the government kills this as quick as possible, because I think it's enough that you guys are excluded. I mean, there's gated communities, fine. Let's call Orania a gated community that somehow pretends with their own currency and economical activities within the very gated community. That's okay. I mean, the government has actually allowed that. But now you want to expand more. What's the probability they won't hold hands with the guys who are crying for Cape independency? There's a high probability they might just hold hands and put a whole agreement, then boom.
Big chunk of the country.
Yeah, guess what? It's gone.
That's gone, basically. So, yeah, that wouldn't be such a great thing. But again, in that situation, they're at a disadvantage, right? Because, we've got most of the landmass if that happens. We being South Africa, right? The country itself, not any particular person or race group.
Yeah.
But, again, it wouldn't be such a big shock. In fact, it is not such a big shock hearing this kind of request, right? I think it was just a matter of time. Eventually, this was going to happen.
I think this is the time where the government can actually get involved, because they're basically trying to divide the country.
True that.
Yeah, so, this is crazy. So, guys, that's it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave your thoughts below. We really appreciate it. And, yes, please don't forget to check out these other videos. And I guess we'll be seeing you on the next one. Ciao.